I want to begin today by talking about how you can import transcripts into MAXQDA as focus groups, focus group documents, breaking documents down into focus group speakers and focus group speaker codes. I'm going to show you how MAXQDA is able to deal with errors and how you can even convert an existing transcript that you bring into MAXQDA into a focus group. We'll then look at focus group speaker contributions and variables. I'll show you some of the visual tools that are tied to those, document, portrait, and the code line. And then we'll talk about 4 of the analysis tools, or 5 of the analysis tools that you can use in dealing with focus group data. Text searches of speaker contributions, retrieving speaker contributions in different ways, using the code matrix browser for focus groups, and from it, the interactive quote matrix, and crosstabs for focus groups. So that's what we'll cover today. The document I'm working with technically is a political speech. It's a debate, but I've converted it into the transcript of a political debate as if it was a focus group. The example project in MAXQDA that comes with your copy includes a very basic focus group example, but this is one that I developed a few years ago. It was from a 2020 presidential debate in the United States. And you'll notice there's a moderator, and then there are different individuals speaking. One of the things with focus groups is to bring a focus group in, the document needs to be, if it's just something you have as a document and you're not bringing it in directly from a source, one of many sites. The universal kind of code that distinguishes a focus group document is the colon after a name. So Blitzer, moderator, colon. This is something that's going to get interpreted by MAXQDA as meaning this is a speaker. Buttigieg, colon, means that's a speaker. Okay. Any colon that's in a transcript, though, the software will try to interpret it as a speaker, but I'm going to show you how MAXQDA is able to deal with it. And that's one of the nicest things in MAXQDA 2022 compared to the prior version, is it does this pretty much automatically for you. So in importing a transcript, you'll notice in the import menu here, we have transcripts and focus groups transcripts. This will just bring a document in. This will turn a document into a focus group file. And when you select the little down arrow there, you're going to see all of the potential tools that you can use to bring those transcripts in. There's a whole bunch. I'm not going to be using any of them right now, but I could. I've used Otter AI, I've used Rev, but I've mostly just downloaded files from Rev and done it manually myself. This isn't something I do all the time. And you can select transcripts that have timestamps in them and transcripts that don't. And what's interesting about that is that even if you can keep the timestamps, or you can throw them away, if you will, but it will also sometimes give you the opportunity to tie it to the external video file. We're not going to be doing that today. We're just going to be dealing with the documents themselves. So if I were to click on focus group transcripts and import a file, you're going to get a preview when you do it. And you know what? I've got PowerPoint. Let's just go live. Let's just do this. So here's a blank, brand new file. All right, a new project file. Import focus group transcripts with timestamps, So I've got one here. The name is error, but that's only to remind me that I intentionally included some errors in this transcript for us. So I click on that file, and you'll notice here, it now shows me all of the speakers that it identified, all of their contributions, and it gives them an initial code, the color code, all the same. Okay? Notice this, though. So I would say to you this. I would be putting what I did as vice president. These are not speakers. These are errors. And the reason they're errors is, I'll show you from the PowerPoint. So here's the exact text here. So within a speaker's contribution, so I would say to you this, colon, an outside perspective. MAXQDA, as most software that deals with transcripts would do, misinterprets this as a new speaker. It used to be, to fix that, I would have to go into the file and just hit and delete that colon and maybe replace it with like a dash. I don't have to do that anymore. Excuse me. Allergies are bad. If I don't want that, I simply say, I'm not importing that. I'm not importing that, and I'm not importing that. These are the names of the speakers that are coming in from the file. I have played with this, and if you change the name of the speaker here, it will not import it. You could edit it, but you don't want to, okay? Just leave it alone. And then what I'll do is I'll say, okay, I want my moderators all one color. And then I'm going to take each of the candidates so that each speaker has a different color. And you notice I eliminated those three, and I click import. And now within a matter of seconds, I now have a focus group in MAXQDA, which I can work with. Hang on a second. I'm going to, so I have now cleaned that up. And what it did was it created a focus group document and a focus group set of speaker codes. You'll notice here the colors aren't different because in that screenshot, I hadn't changed colors. In fact, in all honesty, that screenshot came from MAXQDA 2020. So I would have had to manually change the colors. But it looks like this. And now you have auto-coded speakers and can begin your work. Okay? All right, I'm going to make PowerPoint go away because the rest of our time we're going to just be in MAXQDA. Ah! Too many things on my screen. So you notice it took the title that I gave it of the Word file. I can fix that and just rename that document. So now it's Des Moines January Debate as a focus group. Now I want to point out something here. This is a document. This is one document. These are speakers in documents, and if you click on them, they're just like codes where they bring up coded segments. In fact, Klobuchar is a shortcut to a focus group speaker code. which is the same here. So if I click on it, I can see all of their contributions. All right, fairly straightforward. And please use the chat and ask questions when things don't make sense. Doing this at a real basic level. I want to show you something else though. So I've got another version of this file, and I'm just going to import this version in, this transcript in as a document. And it's going to say timestamps found. Do you want to import? I'm going to say no because I don't. Keep timestamps, sure. This is a document. This is a focus group. The first thing you'll notice, of course, is that this focus group document is auto-coded for the speakers. So it provides a very powerful tool for you, color-coded and for the speakers. This is just the document. It does have timestamps, and those timestamps are literally going to a rev transcript. So I could, if I wanted to see that, I could probably click on that, and assuming it would bring it to me. Yep, there you go. Brings me directly to it because I downloaded this political transcript from Rev for free. Just wanting you to see the possibilities here, okay? Now, say I have this here and I want it to be a focus group. Well, I can do that. Guess what? Look under Import, Convert Text to Focus Group Transcript. Convert displayed document or convert activated documents. This is the displayed document. I'm just going to click Convert it to a, and here you're going to see this one's got a lot of errors. And it's got a lot of things I don't care about. They're like questions from people. So I would need to, the one that I brought in was a very raw file. I would want to clean it up and pick what all these names are kind of the various people who are asking questions. And I could simply import it and it will, you'll notice it's taking its time because it's thinking. And now it's got a much more messy yang. You know what? That's from a different debate. I just realized that this one came from a different debate, so it's not exactly the same. The Word document's there. I'm sorry, the document is there, and a converted version of it as a spreadsheet, as a focus group. All right, I'm going to delete that, but I wanted you to see that you can convert. And if I delete that document, I delete that focus group. So there's a lot of power there in that you can convert stuff. But that's the type of scenario, though, with a messy file. If you're going to have a document first, I would want to review the document looking for things and deciding, well, how much do I really want here? And like this George S., this was really a moderator in that one. That's George Stephanopoulos, I believe. I would probably rename it or something so that it's very clear. But that's not our goal today. We've got a clean file, and I'm going to go. And so now we're ready to code these, to code this document, right? We can code it. We can read it. We can qualitatively code it. Well, through the power of the internet, the magic of the internet, I did some coding in the past. It's an old file. I haven't really looked at this one in quite a while. So now I have another version of this. Colors are a little bit different, but I have a version of this file, and I have some coding of it. So where do we begin with analysis? There's a lot of different places. Of course, I was using coding here, and I had already coded this stuff, so it's no different than any other document. I can read it, add codes, I can do auto coding, I can use Word Explorer, I can use whatever I want. Okay, so let's just assume we've done that. The first thing I want to point out is I want to look at the contributors. If I right click on this, you're going to see down here focus group speakers. And what you're going to notice here is it shows me all the speakers in the focus group file, the focus group that they're a part of. I can have multiple focus groups in a project file, and they're each going to be separate. 31 contributions, 9.69% of the total, 2,798 words, percentage of words, characters, and percentages of characters. I can view this graphically if I want, but it's only going to include those numbers there. Okay. The other thing, I have to scroll down here, I have the moderators. So say I don't really care about the moderators, I'm just interested in the participants. So I created a document, a code set for the candidates. So I'll just activate those. Actually, that's still showing that, but it's going to become useful when we're doing some other things. You'll notice I can take things and I can put them into QTT, one of the new tools in MAXQDA, which is a million times better than it was 3 weeks ago. If you're not running 2022.1, you need to do the upgrade. It's a huge improvement in the software. Lots of new enhancements. But when I did that focus group speaker, you'll notice here, I can scroll to the right. What are these? These are speaker variables that I've added in. They're like document variables, but they're tied to individual focus group speakers. So we had receipt in millions, age, and actually I created a text file called name, which I ended up using as a nice way to kind of make this a lot neater. How do I deal with that? Where does that come from? Right here, list the variables, which is also right here, speaker variables and data editor. I can import them from a spreadsheet or export them to a spreadsheet. I have 3 variables, and if I wanted to add another, I could just click plus, and this is just going to call it dummy because I'm not going to add any more data to it. And I can add in another speaker variable, and I could literally type in whatever I wanted there. Okay. But I've got really what I want here in those 3. So I can go back, I can right click and make that go away. So I've got 3 speaker variables. Why would I care about speaker variables? Well, I can use speaker variables to activate documents. I can use speaker variables to in mixed methods analysis. There's a lot I can do. So let me show you one example. Focus group speakers, right click. Oh no, right here, sorry. Actually, that's going to activate them. Nope, I need to do it up. Sometimes I forget up here. Wait a second. Activate by speaker. Oh, no, I don't do it here. It's when I'm looking at the contributions of a speaker. Activate documents containing segments, display favorites. Where is it? See, I'm having what we call what I like to call a brain freeze. It's just not providing me what I want. Let's just not worry about that for the time being. There is a way to do it, and I'm forgetting how. Activate speakers sets. Huh. All right, never mind. Go back to this focus group speakers right here, but I also have document portrait, word cloud, code line, single case model. Document portrait is just providing me a portrait of the speakers, of what the document looks like. The one I like, though, is this. The code line. Oh, wait. I'm going to start over. Or not. This is showing me a breakdown, and I can shrink it however I want, of what the document looks like in terms of the speakers, who's speaking and when. And so it can provide a nice little visualization. The reason I wanted to wait was because I wanted to actually activate just these, and I wanted to do the same thing, code line, only for activated codes, and I wanted to see just my speaker in a map of sort of seeing what's going on. These represent paragraphs in the document, so you can shrink it, you can make it longer. Well, no, this is breaking it down, I guess. So this is 1 to 70 paragraphs. This is 1 to 24 paragraphs. So you can mess around with it and decide how you want to use it, or if you want to use it. You can do anything with it. It's an interesting visualization. You'll notice there's all these blanks. That's because I didn't activate, and I left out poor Tom Steyer. He didn't get to participate. Let's reload this sucker. Only for activated codes. Now we're seeing, of course, the one candidate that I left out of my set by accident, and we are seeing when the moderators are speaking as well. So it's filling in all of the gaps. So the whole document's covered that way. If I click at a spot, it will bring me to where I am in the document. So I'm not certain how useful that is, but it's live data in that sense. Okay. So CodeLine's kind of a cool tool for focus groups in MAXQDA. And I left out poor Steyer, so why don't I add him? Oh, it's right here. No, I have to drag him from here into candidates. Why is it not going into the set? Oh, well, whatever. So I'm interested in what Senator Sanders said during this debate. What do I do with this? How do I incorporate it? Well, the first thing I can do is click on the name Sanders here or here. And I will bring up a coded segment tool, and I can view each of his contributions. Okay. I can retrieve everything he said that way. Hang on a second. I'm trying to find something that disappeared on me. I do like to activate my speakers. I think that becomes very helpful when I'm doing this. I can code my retrieve segments. I can select columns. I can reset all my filters. I can switch on filters, but I don't have anything right now. I want to show you another way of looking at speaker contributions, and that's going to be going to the Code Matrix browser. Now, I've got activated speakers, so I have all the focus group activated. Go to Code Matrix browser. Notice here, because my project has a focus group speaker shows up as an option. Only for activated focus group speakers, only for activated codes. I want to see all these codes. So I'm just going to say no, but only for the speakers. And now I'll get this. We cannot worry about that. So we can just take that. So I have all of their contributions. So like anything else in MAXQDA, I can do hotspots. I can view them with numbers or boxes or circles. I can change the length here. I can display codes with hierarchy or not. It's no different. It is my Code Matrix browser, but it's providing analysis of my focus group. So if these were themes, this would be showing you an example of that. But I want to show you this too, right here. Interactive quote matrix. Now I have all of my codes. If there were code comments, I would include those as well. I can display the origins. Yep, they're right there. So now I can see my speakers. So now I've got all 6 because I don't really care about the moderators in this instance. So here's their closing statements for all 6 of them. I can click on any topic I want. I'll go back to showing the full thing. And I could pick, say, corporate power. And I see who spoke to that. And I can see their segments. So I can do qualitative data analysis with it. I can jump to the segment, do more work with it. This is a very powerful tool for purposes of focus groups. Just real nice. It's no different than anything else, but it's organized by your focus groups. Let me briefly go to the sample project. Here's a focus group. You'll notice when I click activate the document, I'm not activating the speakers. So I have to choose if I want to activate the speakers or not. Same deal. Analysis, or sorry, visual tools, code matrix browser, focus group speakers, only for activated focus group speakers. So I've got all this data that I didn't code, so I probably should go in here and say focus group themes, activate those, reload this. So now I can see my focus group participants, and I can see their answers to the code, to the themes. Same deal. Notice some of these multiple coded segments. One document, 3 coded segments. Okay. So I have a lot of power and flexibility in what I'm doing there. I want to try something that was driving me nuts before. Yeah, this one doesn't. This one does have some variables, but they're mostly tied to the sample file. Getting an error that I forgot, and I'm going to see. One of the best things in MAXQDA is when you forget something, and occasionally we do. I do. I'm going to go here to Chrome, which you're not going to see. Oops, sorry. When this gets out, uh-oh, I'm busted. I was watching television before. You're like, this guy's having a rough day today. Yes, he is. One of the first things you should be doing, I'm going to have several documents with focus groups. Can I group certain speakers from different documents? Ooh. Oof. I don't think so. Hang on a second. I will try that. The manual is really well done. This is not the section I want, though. All right. There. Ugh. All right. All along, my brain was not thinking in the right place. I was thinking about this here. So I'm going to go back to my prior project. You'll notice here, activate documents, focus group speakers by variables. This is what I was trying to find earlier on, and I completely over my head. And you'll notice here, so I brought in age, and I could say insert all variables if I wanted, but I really don't. I'm just going to say I want I'll do this here, clear the list. I'm going to take age. I'm going to clear the list again. I'm going to take age, and I'm going to say larger than 62. I want the 3 oldest candidates. 3 focus group speakers, activate. And that is how I can use one of the ways I can use variables to activate focus groups. So the question was, when I have several documents with focus groups, can I group certain speakers from different documents? actually have one with 2 focus groups. I was working on, let's see if I can find it. I have 2 focus group documents here. There's a bunch of other documents in this as well. Can I activate? I don't think I have speaker documents here. Nope, I don't. Just have their focus group. Yeah, it's not going to do anything. Can I work with both at the same time? So are you saying, can I activate this? Can I activate this person from this focus group and this person from this? I could do that. And can I say first questions? Am I going to get any retrieve segments? You know what? I activated the documents. I didn't activate the codes. So I'm going to activate this. I'm going to activate this. It's not seeming to do anything for me. You know why? Because I haven't coded that yet. So let's just say I'm going to code this as a first answer just for the hell of it. All right. So I've got first answer activated from one document from the 2. So yeah, I mean, in theory I could. If I had something for both using the same code, I could work with those. I don't know if that answers your question or not, but it's showing that you can pull data from them. I can't drag this speaker into another focus group though. So, because this is a document and these speakers are tied to that document. I'm going to delete that code because that's not a file that I want to mess with. Does that make sense? Hopefully it's getting there. I want to show you another thing, mixed methods, cross tab for focus groups. So in this instance, remember I had a variable that was just name. So in this instance, I just am doing a cross tab like this, codes by name. But I'll clear that. I think receipts larger than 28. That is only, that's going to do a cross tab based on the variable that I used there. Larger or equal to 75. It's only giving me the 75. I could say name, insert all variables as conditions. Let's see what I get here. So now I'm seeing the breakdown for all of the candidates, but I'm also seeing the one who has more than 75 million in revenue. So this is also another tool you can use. My data is not really designed for it. It's not a lot of data there, but just shows you. And again, I click on it and I bring it in here. Okay. I want to show you another tool. Meant to show it earlier. text search and autocode. Now, I'm going to do this here. Actually, hang on a second. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to deactivate all my speakers. Okay. If I do a text search and autocode here, I'll see what's there. But if I do this and I activate speakers, okay, now you're going to notice only in activated documents / activated focus group contributions, I can do a search on, say, corporate. I see all of the uses of the word corporate, and I can autocode if I want. I could create a code, or so I can search based on my focus group. In that sample project, that would be useful because that sample project had data that wasn't focus group data. Let's try this. Don't think there are any special no special focus group tools in Word Explorer. However, notice here I have a code for Sanders, a code for Biden. Those are the speaker codes. So I could see the two things that he said, in which case it's still within the code, the speaker code for it. So I can still use Word Explorer as well. I leave anything out. Text search, activating speaker contributions. Yeah. I want to point out though, again, let's see, I've got nothing here that is I do. Nothing's activated. The text search no longer mentions focus groups. As soon as I activate, now I've activated a focus group speaker, but it still doesn't show it. It will if you cancel and start it again. That was confusing me before we began, and I realized that the software is not, it's already open, and so you would have to close it and reopen it. But if it detects a focus group speaker, it will let you decide if you only want to deal with the focus group contributions.